Okay, let's talk about people pleasing. A lot of people has now, especially women, has now realized that they are people pleasers, but they don't know what to do about it because they can see the pattern, but they're still caught up in it. And this is why understanding your patterns and talking about your patterns isn't going to take you out of it, because you don't act from your intellectual mind, as I have said a million times. You act from your nervous system. The people pleaser has been a people pleaser for as long as they can remember and before they had any memories. So this is all they know, because every people pleaser started out as a parent pleaser. When you were a small child, your nervous system did everything it could to protect you, and you learned that for you to be safe, you need to meet your parents' needs. And how do you meet your parents' need? By abandoning yourself and your own needs. So when you expressed yourself, all your emotions, need, they couldn't really meet you. So you learned how to not express yourself and how to meet them instead in whatever they needed. And as children, this makes perfect sense, because our survival depends on connection, on attachment. So we learned how to monitor our parents, how to anticipate their needs and suppress parts of ourselves. We learned how to become what was acceptable, what would give for them. So this is what we're doing now as well as people pleasers. We abandon ourselves for what we think is connection, because that is what feels safe for our nervous system. We don't know how to actually be ourselves and express whatever we need and feel, because that was never safe. So our nervous system believes that it's not safe to be us. And that's why it's so hard to break this pattern. And what is keeping us in the loop is shame. Because when you avoid yourself, shame is created because you internalize what you couldn't express to that it was something wrong with you. There must be something wrong with me. So shame is actually the protector of allowing certain emotions and needs in yourself. You internalized it as it's something wrong with me. I need to do better. I need to behave. I need to perform. I need to suppress my needs. I need to be there for them in their needs. That is what is safe. So shame keeps us in the loop, and people pleasing becomes the perfect strategy to avoid feeling the shame. If shame says, I am unacceptable, then people pleasing says, I will become the person you need me to be. And that's the perfect loop that we're caught in. Unfelt emotions, unfelt and unexpressed emotions create shame. We internalize it. It's me, something wrong with me. Shame creates people pleasing, and people pleasing prevents us from expressing our emotions and needs, and that keeps the original emotions unfelt and unexpressed. And that's the perfect loop. And the tragedy is that the reason for why we are people pleasing is because we just want to be loved. But we want to be loved for who we truly are. That is true connection. So people pleasing doesn't create connection. It creates attachment, approval, acceptance. But it's not true connection, because for every time you people please, you abandon yourself. So you cannot receive love for being yourself, because you are taking yourself further from yourself to receive love, which you can't when you're not being yourself. Because when we people please, we hide who we are. We shape ourselves around what people can accept, what they need, what won't upset them, what will keep us safe. We paint this picture of ourselves that would be lovable. So we are stuck in this painful paradox of the more successful we are at people pleasing, the less likely we are to receive what we truly want, love. So we have to rewire our nervous system to believe that it is safe to express our needs and express our emotions fully, truly, however we feel and whatever we need. And this loop, this shame, was created in a relationship. So how to break it must be in a relationship as well. So we need to start to explore what it is the shame is trying to protect us from. What emotion the shame is trying to protect us from. Often it is anger and sadness. and often maybe even a mix that I would call grief. The grief of not being able to express what it is that you feel. So if we can find a safe person to express the grief to, the sadness, the anger, and whatever it is that we feel, that we think that we cannot express, our nervous system will rewire slowly and will experience that it is safe to express it.